You're watching Unpacked, and today's train is pulling into Speculation Station. Okay, so sometimes we see interesting stuff out there on the shelf, and we like to try and understand why a brand maybe made a decision. So, as we were perusing our local market, we noticed this change in Tide's pod packaging. And we set out to do some detective work and figure out why might have P&G. We didn't ask them. We are just kind of trying to speculate. Why might they have made this change from one material to another? So the packaging that they have launched their Tide Pods in has been this injection stretch blow molded, which if you need to understand the difference in processes, we did a video a long time ago with my daughter about the difference between blow molding processes. So anyways, they use this injection stretch blow molding process with this orange PET for their packaging. Well, as we were rolling through the market, we noticed this duller version of the packaging and quickly realized that they had moved in part, in full, I don't know, to a high density bottle. And so you can see it's a little duller, but this is what they would use for the other detergent bottles. So we said, let's give our best speculation. Let's kind of take a look at some of the different factors and figure out if we can tell why they may have made that change. This existing package here that they had was an in-mold labeled PET bottle. In-mold labeled meaning that the label was placed into the mold when the bottle is blown around it, and it becomes one with the bottle. And this new bottle here is the same in-mold label into a high-density material. So a couple of reasons that they may have gone this route. Our first was, is it a sustainability play? So we ran the numbers through Compass, just kind of the rough weights and material, and purely from a kind of really high level, quick sustainability look, they were pretty similar. No big adjustments in any direction. So that wasn't necessarily the play. However, if we jump a little bit further and say from a recyclability standpoint, I think that could have been a possible move. When you have something like this PET, first of all, there isn't really any value of colored PET within the recycling stream. They have clear PET, which has a lot of value, and then you have like everything else, green PET, colored PET, and it pretty much doesn't have a place within the stream. It's the clear PET that does. However, on high density, you have a lot of these polyethylene materials have some kind of a second life, whether that's decking or pallets or something that they are kind of rolled into. And so while it's not as valuable maybe as like natural high density, there's much more of a life stream than colored PET. So possibly why they did it. There's also some potential just synergies, right? If they're using the same material and the same colorants and resins and everything as their current bottle, which I'm assuming, I don't know. There may be changes between those two bottles in the formulations or the materials or other things, but just speculating, there may be opportunities there for them to get a little bit more synergies on some of the same lines, some of the same things. Potentially there's cost. Traditionally, and I'm speaking super general here, PET is more expensive than high density. This process of injection stretch blow molding, you've got injection molds and blow molds, and the machines are just more tuned. They're more finicky than these kind of old workhorse machines of extrusion blow molding. So at the end of the day, We don't know exactly why they made this change, but we can speculate for a couple of things. From a recyclability standpoint, from a cost standpoint, those were kind of the two main things that jumped up for us. If you know why they made this change, or you have your own speculations, go ahead and put them in the comments below. Curious to hear what you think about this. And thank you for watching Unpacked. We are now leaving Speculation Station. By the way, stay tuned for more LCA rundowns in future Unpacked videos. We're gonna get deep, folks.